Someone in our viewing area is calling 911 on a cell phone, but there could be a fatal flaw in that call because the technology in the 911 centers across central Alabama aren't able to pinpoint their location.
And that's exactly what happened this past December when a woman called for help because she thought someone's life was in danger. In fact, Birmingham's 911 director says that it took about twice as long to send help because of it. So what went wrong?
Well, ABC 3340's investigative reporter Brian Pia has been digging into this case. And Brian, what you found impacts everyone using a cell phone.
Well, Brenda and Dave, we started digging into the story after a tip from an Uber driver. The driver says she was bounced from one 911 call center to another because they couldn't figure out where she was located. It's a serious flaw that most people don't even know about.
She was not in a good place. She just needed a ride home.
Amber Boyd is a part-time Uber driver. Last December, she picked up a young woman on the side of the road in the middle of the night, soaking wet with no shoes. Boyd took her to the Villas, an apartment complex on Birmingham's south side. Boyd drove up and parked outside. Her passenger got out of the car and walked inside one of these apartments. That's when Boyd started hearing a lot of commotion behind closed doors.
You could hear a distinct man and woman's voice. You could also hear something or someone bamming up against the door or the wall from my car.
Boyd called 911 on her smartphone at 2:44 a.m. She said she told the Birmingham 911 operator she was at the Villas Apartments, but she didn't have an exact address.
Birmingham 911, what's your emergency?
Alabama law prevents us from reviewing the 911 audio. But Birmingham's 911 director says there was a bad connection during part of that call. The Birmingham 911 operator didn't hear the villas, only apartments. During the call, another problem developed.
They said that was not in their jurisdiction, so they transferred me to Homewood. I tell the story to Homewood PD. They tell me it's not in their jurisdiction. That is in Birmingham PD, so they transfer me back.
Birmingham's 911 director says Boyd's general location appeared on the operator's screen as Homewood, a neighboring police jurisdiction.
On the screen, it showed the tower address, which was the best address it could give. It was unable to see multiple towers, and it showed a tower address that was in Homewood.
Boyd called 911 three times, 2:44 a.m., 2:57 a.m., and she was on the phone a third time at 3:05 a.m. as Birmingham police arrived. A precious 21 minutes went by.
Scared for her, worried, not knowing what's going on the other side of the wall.
Boyd posted this photo on Facebook of her passenger being carried out of the apartment on a gurney. The victim had allegedly been abused by her husband, although she declined to press charges. The victim's father says his daughter suffered cracked ribs and a possible concussion. Birmingham police say Boyd's 911 call was classified as a disorderly person or fight, not a domestic violence call. But Silas says police should have been able to arrive at the apartments in less than 10 minutes. That's if the 911 system could have extracted more specific location data from Boyd's cell phone.
Oh, it's awful. It's the number one problem that 911 has nationwide is location accuracy.
Smartphone apps like Uber use a combination of cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, and cell phone tower data to locate you when you need a ride. But 911 systems collect location data from the nearest cell phone tower, not the technology in your cell phone that delivers more specific location information.
And unless the tower you see 3 or more, it has no means to triangulate you. So what we end up with is the closest tower location, which could be a mile from where you're at.
That's insane.
It is insane.
In Jefferson County, the most populous county in the state of Alabama, there are 17 different 911 centers. Now, each color on this map represents a different emergency district. If you look closely, you can see how the districts bounce around. So depending upon where you are, your cell phone call could easily route to the wrong 911 center. We did a test with Jeff Dempsey, Jefferson County 911's IT expert. He used his cell phone to call 911 inside the Jefferson County 911 center where he works.
Okay, right here I got Birmingham.
Then he walked about 12 feet called 911 again, and connected with the Jefferson County 911 call processor right next to him.
Jefferson County 911, where's your emergency?
Just doing a test call.
That seems crazy.
It does, but that's just a small example of what could happen and is happening all over the county every day.
When you call 911 using a landline, operators know your exact location based on the address where your phone is installed. That's what pulls up on their computer screens, and you don't even have to tell them. But most calls to 911 centers across the country come from cell phones, not landlines. And that's a big problem if you can't tell 911 operators exactly where you are.
The truth remains that that side of your phone, that piece of our cell phone technology, is not fully integrated yet with the 911 side.
Now, the cell phone industry is developing a national emergency address database. It'll make use of Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, and other technologies to provide more accurate location information when you call 911 using a cell phone. The upgrade is designed to automatically provide 911 operators with street addresses and even apartment and office numbers. We should start seeing improvements in our area in about 18 months. But it'll take 4 years before the system is upgraded across the country. That's because there are 300 million mobile devices, 6,000 different 911 centers, and 5 major cell phone companies. So it is a complex system that all needs to work together. David Brennan?
Well, so Brian, you know, we've got the system we've got now.
Right.
So what are people supposed to do when they call 911 and on a cell phone and they don't know their exact address?
Well, you really have to be aware of your surroundings. Experts say you should tell the 911 operator the name of the nearest intersection or the name of a recognizable landmark if you don't know your exact address. And keep in mind, 911 operators are trying to find you as fast as possible, so be sure to answer their questions.
All right, Brian, thanks. Important information. We appreciate it.
Great story. All right, we are